When you see those red bottoms, you get so excited. You bring them home, you look them over, and guess what? Blah, blah, they're not real. Here are some of the things that I look for to see if they are real or fake. Hello everybody, how are you today? I'm doing good. I have a really interesting video today. You know, I get a lot of boxes from thredUP and I go to a lot of estate sales, and I have been duped before on many Christian Louboutins. So I'm going to show you today some things that I look for to see if I think they're real or not. Welcome to my channel. My name is Carrie. This is Carrie T Says. I do a lot of videos on reselling, thrifting, designer items, high-end items, makeup, family, just whatever I feel like talking about that day. And today I'm talking about Christian Louboutins. So I'm going to get right into it, and I think I'm going to start first with the box. If you are lucky enough to get them with a box, I want you to know the box should be this color brown. It's like an oatmeal-y brown. They have lines running through them, horizontal lines, left to right. The line should not be going up to down. Do you see lines? They should be going left and left to right, the same way as the L. The word Christian Louboutin, you'll feel it come up off the top of the box. It will be shiny. There's a little shine to it. The word Paris should be perfectly imprinted towards the bottom right of the box, a few inches up. The box should be perfectly square. It should be very nicely made, as you would expect from high end. It will say Christian Louboutin on one side and the other, the short sides. Now, it will tell you the name of the shoe, the size of the shoe. With a receipt, they will give you a picture of the shoe if you get it from the store, and you can actually put it on the box. I have not done that. I bought these just to show that these were real. These came from the Christian Louboutin store, and I bought it for the video and kept them. So let's open the box. The box, inside of the box, should be a piece of art. When you're buying designer something, it should always be made like it's a piece of art. You are paying for something. So inside of the box is perfectly made. In my box came an envelope. It got a card. Christian Louboutin, love your red soles. It's a Christian Louboutin sign if you ever find a purse or anything. The little red bottom. I got in the envelope is this little postcard with a little bottom, and just wants you to enjoy your item. Here's the receipt. Here's the item you can cut out and put on the side. The shoes should match up, and then just if you want to return them, the instructions for return, replace, all of that. So I kept that all in this envelope, in the box, and I'm going to keep everything so there's no issues later on if I ever sell them. So the top of the box. And the top of the box came red tissue paper with the little sticker, and this red matches the red. And at the bottom of the bags, it's a cherry red. It's not a deep red. And here is the bag it comes in. The bag it comes in is very well made. It's not a thin felt material. The imprint should be exact. The H is always above the U, and the O in a Louboutin. The end always ends at the S. Paris is always perfectly imprinted. The stitching is always perfect. And you could tell, sometimes those fake bags are like, I don't know, like thin and felty, and this is a thick material. So these are the dust bags. So if you go into it, this will be the top. The paper they use is nice and soft. Almost feels like tissue. You will get a little pouch, which again matches the felt from the dust bag. And we'll say Christian Louboutin, the same thing. It should be perfectly imprinted. You could feel it. And then you will get an extra set of toe taps. There's 2 of them in there, and it should match the shoe that you have. So you come with toe taps in a little baggie. And then I'm going to show you my shoes. So these are the shoes I got. What size are we? We are at size 38.5, and these are just Noto 85, and these are in the nude, patent leather nude. Just Noto 87.5. I wear a 7.5. So 38.5 is a 7.5 in Christian Louboutins. And here they are. Now I'm going to show you a few things about these. They did come with stickers on the bottom. Don't remove them unless you're keeping them. I'm keeping them, so I am removing it. Sometimes people think they're not real if they come with these little stickers on the bottom. I wore it a little bit, yeah.
The bottom of Christian Louboutins are leather. They are painted leather, so when they're worn, they will scratch. So if you see that they're plastic or when they're worn, they're not scratched, it means they're fake.
Stickers on the bottom. So when I'm looking over a pair of shoes from Christian Louboutins, you will notice a lot of things. First is the stitching is small, exact, and all the way through. They're not uneven, they're not big. Also, Christian Louboutins have a cushion in the middle. It goes up a little bit and over. Some you'll see cushions to the side. I'll show you the difference in a second. The word Paris is nice and thin. It's not chubby and it's not really skinny, and it's around 1.25 inches below the word Christian Louboutin. The A will always line up between the O and the U, and they're perfectly spaced apart, and it will be perfectly over the cushion of the shoe if you get this type of shoe. Now I'm going to show you a different pair later because these should fit perfectly in a shoe that is covered on the sides, and I'll show you that in a moment. The side of the shoe. The shoe should always sit straight correctly. The side of the shoe will always go up beautifully. It shouldn't be squared. It will look like a piece of art. You're paying for art. The bottom of the shoe should always feel like the edge is smoothed over. It should not go out straight. It should feel smoothed over. You could probably see the bump a little bit. It should feel smooth and go to the side of the shoe perfectly. As you can see, the tip is the same color. The most recognizable thing about a Christian Louboutin shoe is the color red. The color red is like a cherry red. It almost has a little bit of an orange undertone. It is not a dark red. It's not a light red. It is a cherry red, and it will have a gloss over it until you wear it off, but you should still be able to see it in here. The imprint of the shoe should be imprinted but smooth. So you should feel it indent of the words in here, but it should also be smooth. The word made in Italy is above 38.5. Look at how the 3 and the 8, sometimes when they're fake, the 8 is more of an oblong oval. Christian Louboutins will also never say 38.5. It will never say 0.5. It'll always have the 1/2 if it's a half a size. Okay? Right? Work of art. So when I started to get a little weird when I got boxes from thredUP. And every time I would get a box from thredUP, a DIY designer box, and there was Louboutins in there, I'd be like, oh, I can't tell you how many times they're fake. Probably 80% of the times they're fake. So let me show you one of the first pairs I got. From them, I saved them because this is a perfect example. Let's see if these are real or not, everybody. Okay. Let's look first at the word Paris. The gold, we didn't talk about the gold. The gold is a true gold. It has a little bit of a shine, but it should not be high shine. Like this is like a mirrored gold. This is a shiny gold, but not mirrored. It won't blind you. Look at the word Paris. Do we notice that the letters are a little chubbier, right? Let's go to the side of the shoe because some of this stuff is good. Let's see how the shoe sits. Oh, it sits nicely. The arch is pretty nice, so that is good. Here's the arch. But when you go like this, there's a shelf there. See that? This shelf should not be there. Does it go over? It does, but I feel it's rough. And some of this you might have to have your own pair. It's rough. It should not feel rough. It should feel very smooth. Even if you feel the shelf, it should be smooth edge, not a roughed edge. Now the back of these, do we see something right off the bat? Can you tell immediately? Let me point it out. First of all, this is a wood heel. There's the real one with the leather heel. It has leather over it. Does something look weird to you? Let me show you. Let's go up the center of the shoe. It starts over here, and it's not straight, it veers off this way. The back of a Louboutin shoe should go directly in the center all the way up. This starts off to the side and goes that way. Center, straight up. Okay, let's look at the stitching. Okay, we always say the stitching is small and even throughout. This is pretty good. It's small and even throughout. This leather is a little harder than this leather. This leather feels a little like lamb leather. This feels a little stiffer, real leather, but a little harder leather. Louboutin leather is like soft and smooth. Okay, so let's go to the inserts. The inserts of a Louboutin shoe should go all the way to the edge. It should fit in this shoe perfectly. This is a piece of art, right? This is a piece of art. So, this one's not bad. If you didn't know any different, you might say, okay, okay. Do we notice anything besides the writing? Okay, let's do the real one. Let me just show you something. Do you see the padding? How it's smooth, it goes up like a bump, but right in the middle. This padding does not. It's padded all throughout, but do you see? It's like this square and it goes all the way throughout. Christian Louboutin will not do that. It will be right in the center. So let's go over this shoe. Okay, it's leather, it's a little bit harder, but if you didn't know any different, you would think, okay, it's real. The stitching is good, it sits good, the arch is pretty good. This here should not come out like that, and it's a little rough, so The back is wood. The stitching is not straight up the middle. It's to the side and goes crooked. The word Paris is a little fatter than normal. The gold is a little shinier than normal, but you might not know the difference. It's like 1.25 inches down. That's in the right place. The insole fits in perfectly. So, you know, these are really good fake. Now let's go for the color difference. Look how dark this red is against this one. Can you see the difference? Might not be able to see the difference, and this is why they're so easily faked and people think they're real. First of all, they're both shiny, right? They both go off to the side. This red is more cherry red. This red is darker. Leave it here for a second for you to see. Made in Italy is up a little further on this one. Look at the 8 on this one, and then look at the 8 on this one. That looks more like a snowman. Man, this is more symmetrical. Can you see it? And again, always feel. This has an indent, but you could feel the indent, and it's rough. It's rough. Like you can scratch your finger on it. This indent, you feel it, but it's nice and smooth. It should be smooth. Even if a shoe is used, it should be smooth. So, I mean, this is really good. This is a really good fake. And I might have had trouble figuring it out a little bit if they didn't send me 2 shoes like this. Totally different. One has a leather heel, one has a wood heel. One goes straight up the center, one doesn't. You could even see the look of the leather is different. See, this is more shiny. And this is a tad bit more matte with a shine. The words Paris are different. The gold's a little different. You see where the cushion is. Both shoes, the things fit inwards. You tell me what's fake. You tell me, do you think one's fake and one's not? Look at the 8. Look at the 8. Look at the placement of made in Italy. You see the indent? See the smooth indent? Or do you see a rough indent? Isn't that funny? They sent me 1 pair of shoes, same size, totally different shoe. I just thought that was so funny. So let's look at another pair. These I got from a tag sale. I was so excited. I wish they were a tad bit bigger because I loved them. These are the most comfortable shoes ever. I listed them and someone said, excuse me, miss, they're not real. I'm like, what do you mean they're not real? So I look inside. The stitching looks good. And then I'm really looking. And you guys, do you see how the leather is cut here? It's not straight. Some of the stitching is lower, some is higher. It's not straight. And I'm like, oh, maybe they're onto something. So then I look closer. The word Paris is a little bit lower than it should be. It should be up here. The word Paris is a little chubbier than it should be. And so usually a little thinner. Let me see if I could show you with this one. See where the word Paris comes down a little further. I know some of you are like, it looks so similar, but I actually saw what they meant. And then the color is wrong on the bottom. These are darker red. Look at the color. What? Louboutins are real cherry red shoes. And I'm like, wow. And these were good. Something else. Do you see how the tip of this is not even with this? This goes over more. In a real Louboutin, the shoe, again, remember, shoes are work of art. See how it goes smooth into it? And do you see how this indents? It's not straight. Sometimes something can be from wear, but this isn't. You see that? Right there and right there. Isn't that interesting? And then you feel the bottom, you're like, okay, it's indent, but it's not smooth. That's really not indented. It's just like sits on the top. Now, some of you might say, but also it has the Vero Cuero insignia. That's this right here. That just means it's made of leather. Now, Christian Louboutins did have that on shoes made in 2007 and before. So that is not something that you should really see. Made in Italy is up here. The 8 looks like a snowman as opposed to oblong and nice. The Christian Louboutin, this is something else since I'm looking at these and I see it. The L and the B come to a point on Christian Louboutin. These, see how it's rounded? Rounded top. You see how it's oblong and it's pointed? You see the difference? Might have to put a picture in for you. Oblong, pointed. Chubbier with no point. So I was like, okay, they're onto something. These are not real. And I bought these at an estate sale and I was duped, but look, the inside fits nicely. This should probably go over more, but sometimes if someone wears something, you could tell, see how this goes in and it's chunky. It's not too bad. It's not that unsmooth, but right here you could feel it. The whole shoe should be uniform. The whole shoe, everything should be uniform. It should feel smooth. It should go to a side and it should be smooth on the side. It should sit properly. It should go around here perfectly like a piece of art. You see how it goes down like this? This should go down like that. It shouldn't go like this here. It should go like that there. This should go straight into the shoe. It doesn't. This should fit perfectly. The parrot should be up here. It should be a little bit thinner. The gold should not be as shiny. The L and the B loop should have a point. The Christian Louboutin and the parrot should be perfect imprint, perfectly straight. This actually goes this way, where this goes this way. So they should actually, this should have lined up here. It should have got lined up this way a little bit more. The where Paris goes down. And inside you could see where the leather trim isn't straight. You can see it was cut wrong here. Remember, these should be perfectly even. Let's go to the center of the shoe. It's going a little bit crooked. It should start here and go straight. But if someone wore it, that could be off a little. But remember the seam of the shoe. Also, there should be no seam. There should be no seam. There's a seam. There's a seam of the shoe. Let me show you another one. Look, no seam, no seam. This one was good because there's no seams. There should be no seam of a shoe. It should go straight as one piece. Here's another pair of fake ones. See, there's a seam in the side of the shoe. There should not be a seam inside of the shoe. See how the word Paris is not centered. This is too big. It should be smaller and end a little lower. The insert should fit perfectly, but sometimes when people wear things, things could change. This should be straight around. It goes straight, it goes that way and then down. It should go straight around and then down. But again, some could wear things. You see how bad shape these are. You can't tell from this because it's worn and pushed in, which is funny. Someone actually put a pair of red bottoms on fake Louboutins, which is interesting. There's an indent, but it's a rough indent. I feel the shelf on the side. It is not smooth on the side. The 3 is a little off. This is not in a bad spot. And the color. Let's check the color. I know it's so hard to see, but this one's darker. This is that cherry red. It's really hard to duplicate this cherry red, but it's close. And if you're from far away, you really couldn't tell. By the way, if anyone wants these, they need some help. They're a 37. You can get new taps put on them if you want them. Let me know. Pay the shipping, you can have them. And let's check out one other pair I have here. I have a few. Do we think these are real or not? Let's look. Let's start with, the leather feels a little hard, but some of them do. The socates are a little harder. The stitching is small. Is it accurate throughout? Is the stitching up the back centered and goes up the middle? Does this fit evenly? Is the color the same or is it off? Is this darker or lighter? Let's feel this. It doesn't feel bad at all. Okay, this feels right. It says 37.5, not 37.5, so that's right. Ooh, this feels right. It's not sharp. It goes over the side. It's not sharp. And this is not bad, but there's something that's going carry, carry, carry. And do you want to know what that is? Do you see glue here? You see that glue? Christian Louboutins, real ones, would never have glue. Now, could someone have fixed that? You know, it's a possibility, so we have to keep investigating, right? Now, the thing with this is, I feel the indent, but here I feel it more and here I feel it less. So that's a little bit of a red flag. But this is good. The stitching's good. Now, an insole on this one is not bad. The padding's not bad. The Christian Louboutin inside is wearing off, which really shouldn't wear off like that. But everything's in the exact same space. The word Paris is in the right place. This isn't right in the back. This should go in the middle and straight up. So that's a little concerning. See, one seems more, this seems a little off, or this seems more in the middle, but could that be because someone who wore it? This is a hard one, you guys, but I'm gonna tell you these are fake, okay? The color is a little darker than it should be. The imprint is imprinted in some places, but not others. But they're spaced right. It's 37.5 is right. The arch of this is not bad. Oh, here's a little bit, but there's glue. This goes into the heel perfectly. The stitching is good, but the leather is a little harder than it should be. And this can happen with regular ones too, the little fuzzies. And the stitching is not bad at all. But there's a double stitching there. Do you see that? That's bizarre. Okay, and these are a really good fake. But again, these are fake. These are 37.5, so this would be fit a 6.5. If somebody wants these, contact me with my information below. And as long as you pay the shipping, you can have those. If someone wants, these are 37, so a size 6. You want to pay shipping, you can have those. These are two different shoes. They're the same size, 38. So again, if you're 37 and you want to pay shipping, and you want these, you can't tell from afar, that's fine, up to you. And these are 38, so if you're a size 7 again, if you want these. If you pay shipping, you let me know. You can have those. Now these I bought for the video to show that they're real. I had 100% known they're real because they are from Christian Louboutin and I'm keeping them. These happen to be comfortable. A lot of Christian Louboutins aren't. And I have problems with my back and these are comfortable. So let's go over one last time, okay? The stitching is perfectly even from the top of where it is to the bottom. It's small stitching, like a work of art. They sit flat. The arch here is flat. You can feel it go over the side. The tip goes straight down into it. The cushion is in the center. It goes wider and then smaller. Starts with the L there, ends right at the end. The word Paris is in the correct spot. It's the correct width. They're even, they're straight. Everything's a work of art. The color is a cherry red. The imprint, you could feel the imprint smooth all the way around, and it's smooth. It's not sharp. It's not an indent. The half size is 1/2. The made in Italy is a little above the 8. The 8 is like a perfectly nice 8. It's not too fat. It's not too long. It's not like a snowman. The sides, you can even see it with the light. They go up on the sides. Smooth, perfect, nice. Everything is symmetrical. I have worn these and nothing is worn off on them. Even the bottom, I've worn them a few times. No scratches, but I am going to get them red bottomed up. But I wanted to show you guys first, and they've been sitting here probably for a year to show you. So that's my video. If you want one of the other ones that are not real, all you have to do is contact me, pay for shipping, and 1 pair a person. So that's it. My information's below. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to show you, or if there's any other questions you have about this. There's probably things I've missed, but this is the things that I look for. And I have to tell you, I mean, I've been duped. I've been duped, and I'm sure I could be wrong on certain things when I look at it and something might be real because people have worn it. Hasn't happened yet, but I'm not saying it can never happen. But just everything should feel like a work of art. You know, the leather, it should look like a work of art. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, and I can't wait to wear these more. So before you leave, please give me a thumbs up. Go watch my other videos. Say hello below. My information's below if you want another one of these pairs to have for yourself. They are not real, so if they turn out to be real, then you lucked out. But they're not, in my opinion. Okay, everybody, remember to be you. Until next time, have the best day. Ciao. Bye.